Hi everyone, so as I'm making the dress for our crochet mouse, I wanted to quickly clarify how to get this ribbed, nice finished look that we're aiming for whenever we are making the dress itself. So basically, in order to get this, whenever you are at the front of the dress, so this is going to be the front of it. Let me show you how the back looks like. So here I made roll where I switched it a bit, but you can decide whether you want it like that or not. Usually you don't have any lines happening here, but this time I decided to have it like that. But we want the lines here so that we can have this ripped finished look. And in order to get that, to achieve that, what you need to do is whenever you are making the front of the dress, so we are crocheting with a turn, so we're going back and forth. So whenever you are starting here making the front of the dress, this is a simple single crochet row. What you need to do is you go through the back loop of each. So let me show you a little bit closer. This is the back loop, and this one here is the front loop. So as we want to have this line formed here, we need to go through the back loop of the stitches so that the front of them will still stay visible like this. And whenever once you turn to crochet on the back of the dress, what we need to do in order to still have this line happening at the front is that this time, whenever you're making the single crochets, you are going through here. This is the front loop, and we continue like that back and forth until we get a total of 10 rows completed. And once we do that, this is the next thing that I will show you, is from here on we will continue working in spirals. So now we are joining the two pieces together, and in order to do that, you're not turning this time, but instead you are going right into the very first stitch here through both loops, and you are making a slip stitch so that you can join, because here now we are forming this. We will sew this opening here last, because we want to be able to put the body of the mouse inside. And our very first round, after we've joined the two parts of the dress together, is that we go into each stitch of the 42 stitches that we have, and we'll make an increase in each, and it's going to be a double crochet increase. For the very first one, we are starting with a chain of 3, because we want to have this height happening, and then into the same stitch we're doing a double crochet. This is an increase, so we need to do a total of 42 increases, so we'll have a total of 84 double crochets at the end of this round. So let's work it together, simply going into each stitch and making a double crochet increase 42 times, because this is how many stitches we have. So continue like that until you complete the round. And once you are at the last stitch, I'm going to show you how it's like last time, but basically I'm joining them with a slip stitch again. So meet me back when you're ready for this round, when you've reached the last stitch. Okay, so I'm back finishing off with the last couple of stitches in this first round that we're making with the increases. Stitches left, making the crochet increase in each of them. This is the last one. And now, simply to close the gap between the two, I'm going to insert my hook into this stitch here, the very first one, this slip stitch, and now it's joined. From the lower part with the waves, the wavy part of the dress here. This is how it looks like so far. And now we continue with the next Okay, so now that we have done the first and the last stitches of this very first round, we continue with the next one. And for the next one, we are doing the sequence, which is as follows. We make 2 double crochets and make an increase in the third one. We have our chain of 3 for the very first. This is counting. We are counting this as a first stitch, and then into the next one, making a double crochet. So this is 2, and now in the third, we're making a double crochet increase. And again, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and then a double crochet increase. Continue like that until the end of the round, and repeat the same sequence for the next round as well. So we have the first round, which was all done with increases. The second round, we do 2 double crochets and then double crochet increase. Complete the round and follow the same sequence for the next one. For the third one, once again starting with 2 double crochets and then double crochet increase. The final round of this is that we are finishing off with 1 single crochet round, so make sure to follow the instructions on the pattern and you will get there. We'll meet back once I've completed all the rounds to finish off this bottom part of the dress, and the next thing that follows is to show you how to make the collar. Okay, so basically, because we want to have the wavy part facing up, the right, to be looking like this and not like that. That's why we're gonna start making it from this other end. That's why I'm taking my hook, inserting it here into the very first stitch, taking my yarn, and I'm simply going to make a knot here. So this end I will hide afterwards, so I'll just leave it like that. We start making our collar. To do it, we simply start by making a chain of 3, and then from here on we're doing double crochet increases, so make a double crochet in the same stitch and continue like that until the end of the row, and that's it basically. We just need 1 row for this color, so let's continue like that. I can at the same time hide this yarn end in the stitches, so simply making double crochet increases in each of the stitches until the end of the row. So continue like that and meet me back at the end when we're finishing off this row. Okay, so here I am finishing off the very last stitch in this row. And now let me try and put it back on. This is our color, being wavy already. So we will sew these together. The color will go down as we put the head on top. And what I like to do is I will leave a long tail of the pink yarn so that I can actually sew the thing afterwards. So yeah, we still have left this part here. This is the white yarn from the body, because this is the one that I'm going to use to sew the head to it. The pink we'll use to sew this piece together to look nice and tight at the back. And here this thing is still pretty loose, so what I like to do is I'm taking a strand of pink yarn. Let me just cut some, and now I'm going to use a needle, so like a really big needle. Okay, And I'm not going to tie it yet at the back because yeah, I still want to be able to take it off so that I can embroider the mushroom in front first. But because we are still dealing with how to make the final look of the dress look nice and tight, so basically I'm using this strand of yarn, the same yarn, and I'm going with the needle like back in front, covering, let's say, 3 or 4 stitches. I'm not really counting them exactly. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, like that. And I'm gonna go like that around the whole piece. It's really not where it's supposed to be. Okay. Really front and back, front and back. Let's see. Bit, and yeah, let's see, it ends here. Take the needle out, and now these are the 2 ends of this yarn that we just threaded. And what I'm gonna do at the end is I'm gonna pull this tightly to form these nice waves. And then I will tie it at the back. I will make a knot, I will hide it, it will not be visible. And then you can rearrange the color as you like, but that's gonna be after you sew the hat to the body. But yeah, just to give you the details of how to make it nice and tight around the neck. So this is how I do it. Hi again, so we've just finished sewing the head to the body, and our mouse is complete in terms of body and head joined together. And now what it's left to do for us is to complete the dress. So first off, we are starting by putting it on. Thankfully we have this opening here, so it allows us to easily put it on. And now we have several yarn ends here. These 2 are here from the collar, and we will tie them at the end, but for now we don't need them. We want the other one that is part of the dress because we want to sew this opening so to close it. And I'm gonna use my tapestry needle again to do that. Let me just it. Okay, and now I'm gonna go a bit down. Okay, because I want to start from here right beneath the collar. I don't have an exact method, so I'm simply gonna close this. I'm gonna try going through the stitches. Let me zoom in a bit to see better. Okay, now I can use this yarn tail here to make a knot. Let's see if it works. Okay, see it's still a bit loose here, so let's go ahead and pull both ends of this yarn to shape it around the neck. You see how much better it looks now. We will organize this. Yeah, make the waves look better, but pull as tight as you can. And tie it at the back. Make a knot. Cut this, and then I will simply once again use my hook to move it on the inside, because we don't need this to be visible. It's now hidden at the back. Let me zoom out a bit. You see how well now we formed the color, how nice and wavy it got. You can organize the waves as you like. And our mouse has her dress now. And what's left for us to do is to embroider our mushroom. So to do that, I'm using saffron. It's by drops, so yeah, drops saffron yarn. And I have my red, my white, and my green. So I'm gonna start with the red, and I'm using the same tapestry needle. So let me take off the pink and grab my red yarn. So I wanted to start somewhere here, let's say somewhere here, and I'm gonna insert my needle at the back. I'll leave a tail because I want to be able to make a knot after, because otherwise this will just go right out. And I'm gonna try and decide where I want. I'm gonna do it like that. Let me show you why. Basically, I'm gonna try and form the hat, if you will, the hat of the, I don't know how it's called, the upper part of the mushroom. So let's see if I do it like that. Then of course I'm gonna cover the pink so it won't be visible, but yeah, something like that. Let's form the triangle again, similarly to the eyes. Yep. And then simply, once again, I'm gonna be zooming. I'm going to try and just cover the whole thing with red. Okay, I'll put this here and then I'll simply exit through here, but I will leave the red yarn still. I'm not gonna cut it yet because I want to do the bottom part of the mushroom, and I might want to add a line on top of the white section. So I'm simply now going to change to white yarn, and now let's do the bottom section, leaving a tail once again here because I will tie it to the red afterwards. So just make sure you leave enough to be able to make the knot. And now let's see, I'll just go up and down a few times, trying not to destroy what I have on top. Okay, I think this is enough in terms of the bottom part of the mushroom. So I'm going back up to the red because we want to make those cute white dots. And let me show you how I'm doing them. If you've watched my other video for embroidering the sweater of my winter fox, Lex and Lexi, either of them really. This is the same process of making the dots. I think it's called French knot. So going over, I'm taking my needle, placing it closer to the base line, and here going over it once and going right in, exiting through the back. I'm trying not to print through the mouse body, and then pull the yarn, and you are forming this French knot, which looks like a dot. So we're gonna do this at random places a few times. I'm gonna exit through the back. Okay, something like that. And yeah, I really do want to go over this once again in this direction, so I'm taking the yarn, threading it through the tapestry needle again, and I'm going to go in this direction. Let's see, once or twice. Once, and I'll go here. Just I want to really make this mushroom look as finished as possible. That's why I'm gonna go once in this direction as well, and then I'm exiting through the back as well with the red yarn. Okay, I'm using this kind of green. I'm gonna check how exactly it's called. I will check the 3 colors and I will write them in the description of this video. So I'm using the green, and I'm gonna go a couple of times up and down until the middle of the white, because I want to create this illusion of the mushroom coming out of the grass, if you will. So finally we have plenty of ends here, so let's make a couple of knots because we don't want our mushroom to get destroyed. Our mouse has her dress now completed with the mushroom and everything, and as a final touch, this is really optional, but I really like how the cheeks of my mouse pop up. Is I'm using this blush and I'm adding just a little bit, make sure it's not too much, here the cheeks. And now our mouse is completely ready.